Hi. So from today we'll be going into the body, and I wanted to start with the spine because for some reason this thing has always been in my head that your spine is so strong. It's literally the thing that supports your entire body, and yet why are spines the ones which have the most injuries? Like I don't know, maybe from 10 of my friends I can probably say that 5 of them have lower back problems. It's so common and we don't know why. So I wanted to cover a few basics of the spine. Before that, I wanted to just mention that all the videos I'm making are mainly focused on people who want to learn a little bit about anatomy before they enter the physical field. So yeah, if I'm just giving like a disclaimer, so you don't have the wrong expectations in coming here. So I want with today's video, I wanted to cover what a spine is, and I also wanted to cover the importance of the curve of the spine, which I don't think a lot of people talk about. So if you want to go to that, you can I'll put the timestamp somewhere. Yeah. So your spine is basically, it consists of something called a vertebrae. A vertebrae is the individual unit of a vertebral column. So we have 33 vertebrae which stack together becomes the spinal column. And between the vertebrae there's a tunnel. It's called the spinal canal. Through this spinal canal, your central nervous system flows. So your spine, it goes all the way from your cranium to your pelvis. It's connected, and all the nerves basically get interjoined into the spinal cords within the spinal canal, and they're part of the central nervous system basically. So with of the 33 vertebrae, it's divided into 5 sections. So you have the cervical, which is on top, thoracic, lumbar, sacrum, and coccyx. I'll cover these individual parts in a separate video. So I wanted to keep this video short and just talk about the basics for now. So the vertebrae are like a covering for your spinal column. And think of it like a lot of donuts stacked on top, and you have the canal just going through it. And whatever sensations you feel in your body, in your hands, your legs, whatever, it all joins up into the spinal canal and comes back to your brain, which is where you feel whatever feelings come in your body. Yeah, so all the sensations, they come from your hands into your spinal column, into your central nervous system, and it comes all the way to your brain, which is where you feel pain or anything. Like you hold something, you touch something, the sensations come via your spinal canal. And between your vertebrae, you have something called an intervertebral disc. It acts like a shock absorber, and it also helps with weight distribution. And this is something which, pinching of this disc is something which causes you to have sciatica nerve problems. We'll cover that later. And one thing which I found very interesting is that when you sleep, your intervertebral disc gets filled with fluid and it grows bigger. So that's why when you wake up in the morning, you're around 1 to 2 centimeters taller than when you went to sleep. But then throughout the day, it gets compressed and the liquid flows off, and you go back to your original height. Okay, now let's talk about the natural curves in the body. So we have 4 natural curves in the body: the cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and the sacral. So why do we need these curves? Your spinal column can just be straight. It still works. It might work fine, right? So why do we need these curves? The basic idea is that think of it like a spring. So if you have shock coming in a spring, it just coils and it recoils back. So because it's a curve, when you're walking or you're running, there is load coming from your feet, right? So your vertebral column, it recoils up and down because of the curve. That is one thing. The second is that because of the spring, because of the curve, the angle of load, it goes in different directions. So because it's like this and like this, right? So the angle based on the curve, it moves towards the body in different directions. So a good way to think of this is compare a waterfall and a wave. A waterfall would just fall all the way down, and there's so much pressure in the point where the water is hitting, right? Compare that with a wave. There is a lot of water in the sea, and because it's curved and it's wavy, the energy gets distributed along the ocean. So that is one way to look at why the curves help. Another way is imagine a guitar and a rope. So like a guitar, if you string it, it toing, okay, it's very tight. So the energy just goes all the way to the top. Compare that with a rope which is just tied between two ends, not very tight, and you hit it in a corner and it waves, it goes in a wave all the way to the end. So it's distributing the energy in the wave. So that sudden shock doesn't exist. That is one, that's a very important thing. So we need to focus on the curves, maintain the curves during our workout sessions. So your spine, because there are so many vertebrae in the spine, it also helps as a joint. So you can, it helps in movement in all directions, like flexion, extension, rotation. Everything is because of your spine, which can move this flexion, extension, everything is because of the joints. So the alignment of the spine is very important in doing a lot of workouts, right? Like squats, deadlifts, etc. So if your spinal alignment is wrong, you can get a lot of injuries. So to avoid that, two of the best exercises are the bird dog and planks. So I've just attached the image of this here. So I mean, I think most of us know what a plank and a bird dog is. But the bird dog's image is wrong, so you need to lift, extend the opposite leg and the opposite hand. Yeah. So if you follow this for a while, your spinal alignment can improve, and then this will help you have, it'll help you with more compound exercises going forward. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to cover about the spine today. I wanted to keep it simple and basic, and going forward, I will talk about individual, like the cervical, thoracic, lumbar, individually, how you can improve it, their functions, and yeah, if I'll be posting videos of that later. So if you either found value or if you think this was helpful in any way, I would appreciate it if you could do everything the algorithm helps with. Yeah, it makes me feel good. Thanks. I'll see you around. Bye.